Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel.
Do you not get the concept?
Today we are going to be talking about how I made myself feel so small to the point where I felt like I wasn't important anymore and how I almost felt basically invisible. Here's the lore, right? Middle school, I was outgoing, y'all. Like straight A's. I wanted to be valedictorian. I ended up being salutatorian. I wanted to be the lead for all things. I wanted to win any sports events we did. Like I was really like heads on, like I'm about to do this. I'm gonna get it done. It's happening. And it did. And when I started getting all of these things, people started being like, oh, she doesn't deserve it. Kay gets everything. Kay always gets her way. Like it kind of made it seem like I was spoiled. And it's like nothing about this was hand given to me. Like I literally set out a goal and I was working hard to get what I wanted. People started outcasting me. They started excluding me. Like it was really bad. I got to the point where I just learned to kind of like keep to myself. And I feel like that also happened at home too, where it's like they always say like a child is supposed to be seen and not heard. Yeah, they say that for a lady too. Like stuff like that used to like get me so tight. So it's like if I felt a way about something, I had to keep it to myself, bottle it up. And the way how I used to cope with it was I would just stop talking. Like if I had a bad day, I would go hide away in my room. I wouldn't say anything to anybody, honestly. The only way I would quote unquote get it out for real was like writing in my diary, or like I would disassociate. So I would read a lot of books. And when I say books, fiction, I would pretend that I was in a whole nother universe. In high school, I would say now I kind of like made friends, but we had like group chats and I would never really like share my opinion in the group chat. I wouldn't really talk that much. I would just listen because I realized like if I just be quiet, I wouldn't have any problems. I started to kind of like lose my ambition and stuff. Like for example, when I got salutatorian in middle school, I was really going for it. When I got to high school, I was like, it doesn't really matter. Because I was always doing so good, straight A student, I was always getting an award, I was always in something. My parents would always be like, okay, we can't come, we can't make it, but congratulations. I'm sure they cared, but like it was just like, okay, this is just like a normal day for Kaia. And I also learned to not really celebrate myself either. So anytime something like really big was going on, I would keep it to myself. Like I would just be like, okay, it's just another day, it's no biggie, whatever, whatever. And I feel like that was just like another way for me to trick my mind into feeling like, oh, it doesn't matter. Quite frankly, I got so used to nobody coming to like celebrate or cheer me on that anytime somebody was like, oh, why didn't you say something? I'm like, oh, it wasn't a big deal. Like, besides like just the social aspect, me being a girl, I was always taller growing up, and then I was always conventionally pretty or something like that. A lot of times people would approach me, or like guys would want to talk to me because they think I'm pretty, but they never took the time to try and know me for my substance. And that also is happening again now. And I'm gonna get into that after. Because it's like, I'm more than just a pretty face, and you're here like, oh, you're so pretty, that's why I want to talk to you, that's why I want to be with you. And I used to take it as like the biggest insult ever. The part about me being tall is like, I know it was for safety and for wandering eyes and all of that, but it was so irritating to me. Like I couldn't wear a skirt. Like I will always get called out. I can't control that I'm tall, and the clothes is not tailored for it to be any longer. What the heck? I used to get sent to the principal's office all the time because it's like I have on a short skirt. It's not short, I'm just tall. And it would be like I would have on stockings still, I would have on shorts. It's not even like if I bend over you could see under me. It's just like being sexualized so much as a child is really irritating that it makes you not want to like be seen again. So that also when like I mentioned in my last video about me like dressing really bland or like very conformative, because it was like I don't want any extra attention, because anytime I get some type of attention, it's always like really negative, even if it's me doing a good thing, which is again crazy. Even going back to looks, right? The only time I felt normal, and this goes for high school, college, and post graduation, was I have these chronic like extreme breakouts where my whole face is like loaded with bumps, dark marks, like you can't even see my face, like really bad breakouts. It happens, and each time I felt like that was the only time I was treated like a person instead of like, ooh, I'm so like a dream or something like that, like somebody's fantasy. Whenever I looked like ugly, or like my hair looked bad, or my outfit was really bland. Like when I looked crazy, that's when I felt the safest. If people came up and they talked to me and they had a conversation with me, I felt like they were genuinely talking to me because they wanted to get to know me or something. And it wasn't just like because they were like mushing over me. Literally, like I just wanted to go outside, look crazy. Well, I didn't really want to look crazy, but I just didn't want the attention on me. Like I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to be noticed. I didn't want any attention. I didn't care if it was good or bad. When I go to college now, I really kind of was like, screw all my dreams. I really was quiet as a mouse in college. It was crazy. And I think that was like the only reason why I ended up making so many friends. And I guess I learned that going back from high school and middle school, because it's like people will feel comfortable to hang around me because I wouldn't have a strong opinion. I wouldn't judge. I wouldn't comment. Like I would just be a stone wall. Like I was like a blank piece of paper, and everybody could come and just like write all their feelings down on me. And it's just like, because I was going through so much when I was younger, like mentally, it shaped me into being a very like open-minded and understanding person, where it's like I just realized a lot of times people, they don't want your opinion about stuff. They just want somebody they could talk to and feel like they're heard and seen. The downfall with like being quiet now is that a lot of times people feel like they could take advantage of you. They feel like you're the easy target to like make jokes about. Like when people would make like underhanded jokes and stuff, I would just kind of like ignore it. I would laugh it off. I wouldn't say too much. As I got a wider variety of friends, I started speaking a little bit more about like, oh, like casually, like, oh, this happened today. Like they would look at me with two heads when I'd be like, oh, they did this and that. And they would be like, what did you say? I'd be like, oh, nothing, just laugh it off. And they'd be like, no, Kaia, like the way they're treating you is not okay. And I really genuinely got to the point where it's like, because I didn't really care anymore how people treated me, I didn't know anymore when people were treating me poorly. I was just like, oh, really? Like a lot of times people would try and get like in the middle of it for me, because it's like, why would they say that to me? Why would they do that to me? And they would be like, hey, like you need to speak up more. And I'd be like, no, it's okay. Which also became a really bad issue after I graduated college, and I'm gonna get into that too. This is why it didn't bother me, right? If something was bothering me, I would write it down in my diary, close the book, and I would pretend it never happened. I would just force myself to forget about it. That's how I also ended up becoming like so forgiving of a lot of situations too, because I would kind of forget like, oh yeah, you did this to me. This is why you should not talk to this person. Like all the like safety triggers, because I've kind of literally erased you. Like, you know, like your cell phone storage, you're deleting old pictures. Like I would delete the memory out my brain. I would write it down for notes later, like if I need a good reason why I should stop talking to a person for a second time, and then be like, oh yeah, they also did this to me, how could I forget this? And then be like, all right, that's it, because I have like a really strong 3 strikes. I have to work on my strike system. Another conversation. And then you're probably thinking like, Kaia, how did you get away with trying to be a fly on the wall for 4 years of college? Y'all also have to remember 2 years of my college experience was a pandemic. The best years of my life. I have to deal with people. I didn't have to go outside. I didn't have to do anything. I could just hide away in my room and not talk to anybody. And I didn't have to worry about feeling like I was being left out of stuff because we couldn't go anywhere. So I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is great. Like this is the dream. Like I wish I could live like this forever. And then I ended up getting in a relationship. So when I'm in a relationship now, it's like, great. I don't have to do nothing. And anything I do want to do is going to be an automatic yes, because it's like, why wouldn't you want to hang out with me? Like, I'm your girlfriend. That also was not good for me because I was living in a fake world. It was bound to like come to an end. Like we was gonna have to go back outside again. We was gonna have to socialize with people, but this just made my social anxiety worse. I already convinced myself that I was invisible. And then I was basically living in my boyfriend at the time. I was living in his world. Like whatever his life was, that was good enough for me. Like tell me about your outside experience, but I'm gonna stay in my bubble right here. Finally, we had to go back outside. And I was under a lot of pressure because it's like I had to get a job. I had to finish my internships. I had to be a member of society in general. I didn't want to do it. And it's like anytime I had like an issue now, I would tell my boyfriend like, oh, hey, this happened, that happened. And he would even tell me too, like, Kaia, you have to speak up for yourself. You cannot You cannot just be like, okay, okay, okay. Because I think there was like one situation again now where it's like I was working an internship and I was the only girl, and the guy looks directly at me. He goes, and ladies, we cannot distract the men here. What do you... I'm the only girl here. How am I distracting them? What am I doing? Like, I just need the hours for my internship. And that's why I was saying, like, I only felt safe when I was ugly, because I'm telling you, when it's like you are like pretty, it is like a threat to men around the world. Oh my God. It's crazy. And I still experience that now, even when I go to work. I'm seducing a man in my long sleeve t-shirt and pants. It's not funny, but it's awful. I'm slowly trying to like get myself to be okay with being a person now, because I have no choice. I have to learn to speak up for myself, or else I'm not gonna get nowhere in life if I'm not. And then in college too, I realized like you have to be loud. Like if you're not loud, it doesn't matter if you could do the work. It doesn't matter how qualified you are. If you are not loud enough, you're not getting it. You're not getting it. It doesn't matter. And that was the same thing for jobs. If you're not loud enough, if you don't brag about yourself, you're not getting it. And for somebody who has programmed themselves to be small again, not draw attention, not talk about their accomplishments, the things they do is no big deal. I had to learn like, oh yeah, you need to say this and you need to say that in an interview. And I'm here like, oh, like I didn't know. Okay. So yeah, and I kind of still have that problem now. Like I still be trying to like downplay everything I do. Now I'm like, okay, my last semester of college, I wanted to kind of like do stuff for myself. I was kind of tired of just like being in my boyfriend at the time, being in his world. Like I wanted my own world. So I'm like, okay, let me go out, let me try some stuff, let me like, you know, be a member of society, which also caused a lot of problems now in my relationship, because it's like, oh, you always want to go outside, you always wanted this, you always want to do that, whatever. We ended up breaking up. My whole world came crashing down, and now I'm really like, what the hell? Like that had took a toll on me, and I was just like, okay, back to being invisible. I can't. I tried. I came out into the world for a little bit, and this is exactly why I stayed where I was. So I shut down completely again. I didn't want to do nothing. I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to go nowhere. Not taking care of myself at all. I was just like, you know, this is safe. I'm not going back. I'm not going back. I'm staying small, look crazy. Nobody will talk to me. It won't draw no attention. Perfect. I hit the ground. Like, I don't know if y'all remember when I stopped vlogging, I was at the worst of my worst. I thought there was no coming back for me. I was just waiting for my last day to come. I was like, please let this be over. I don't want to do this no more. And that's when I was like, damn, the only person who can save you from this situation is yourself. So girl, get up and get yourself together right now. Quick, make it fast. Make it fast. First, I had to start really small. And because I didn't want to go outside, I started with my appearance at home. I started getting cute PJs. I would get robes and stuff like that. So like when I go home, I'm like because I was like the only time I was happy was when I got to go to sleep at night. So that's why I was like, I'm literally gonna rebuild myself. So then I started my wardrobe over. I was like, how do I want to look now? Who would I be when I am my best version of myself? So I started buying new clothes, and I would wear the clothes and I'd be like, oh, this is cute, whatever. But I still did not want to go outside. Like anytime somebody would talk to me, I would kind of like jump. I would be scared. I would be nervous. When I say this took me, ooh, girl, it's been like what, 3 years? That's what I'm saying. It took a long time. This is not months that this is happening. This is taking a long, slow time. So after I got like the apparel, I started getting hyper focused on how I couldn't change my appearance, because I would look in the mirror and I would not even see myself anymore. So I was like, okay, first I started with hygiene. I'm here like, okay, I'll get soaps I like, perfumes I like, lotions I like. I would do like a shower routine, small stuff like that. After I got the hygiene down, I'm like, what are we gonna do about this confidence of yours? What are we gonna do? So I would come home and I would cry every day. I'm not gonna lie. Every day I would come home and cry. Like at first I would like, you know, complain to my friends, complain to my family. But after a while, I kind of felt like, I was like, I'm talking too much. I feel too seen, like too many people in my business. I don't want to feel pitied like this. So I would start talking to myself. I would go live on my private Instagram and I would cry for hours, cry for hours and hours. And then I would wipe my face off, go outside because I had to go to work. I would go outside the next day and I would just be there like this. I wouldn't talk to nobody. Eventually I told myself, like, you know, just pretend to be happy. And that's what I did. I went outside and I pretended to be happy. And then when I would go home, I would talk to myself like I was a second person. Like I had split personalities. I had hurt me and I had me who's like, get it together. Like real stern, like get it together. Like you don't have a choice, get it together. Yeah, eventually my tough love and my pretending, it worked. Like I finally cleared my skin up. I had issues with my hair. I fixed that. And then I started going really hard at the gym because I also didn't like how my body was looking. I got really, really skinny. And then after that, I continued to bully myself to go outside. And then finally I'm like, bro, you keep trying to fix yourself. There was nothing wrong with you to begin with. Just that post-graduation is tough. And then the way you was living the first half of your life is not gonna work for the way you was living the second half of your life. And I had to realize that. I had to stop caring. Like that was even on my vision board this year. I was like, I don't care anymore. Like, I don't care what people's opinions are of me. I don't care if people disagree with me. I don't care if people judge me. I really don't care. Like, I'm gonna just live my life and that's it. Like and it's hard for me to be like, I don't care because again, I told you I really hate being perceived, but I was like, I have no choice. And anytime I would be scared to do something, I'll be like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So like, instead of saying I don't matter, I was saying the situation doesn't matter. Like, it's so much more to this that I'm probably not even saying because again, like, this is my whole life. But it's like, I'm at the point in my life where I have no choice but to speak up for myself. I have no choice but to be present and be alive and be human. I can't be invisible anymore because my parents can't defend me. I'm not a child. My friends cannot defend me because it's just like, why do you have somebody speaking for you? I can't hide behind a relationship. Still working on it every day. I be trying a little bit more. And I feel like it's especially important now when I be talking to brands and I be negotiating stuff. It's like, you have to see the value in yourself because if you don't, nobody's going to see the value in you. You need to do this for the girl inside that is like crying her eyes out and feeling like so alone and feeling like all odds are against her. Like, you need to do it for her. So every time you get up, do it for her, because I put it into perspective for it's like, I don't really care what happens to me. If something happens to my sisters, I'm going to war with them. So I just started treating myself like I was one of my sisters too. Like, oh no, you're not gonna do that to her. So I kind of have like a split. Like, outside is boss Kaia, inside is like, oh no, please don't do this to me. In short, bro, if you have a privilege, use it. Don't try and downgrade it, use it. So yeah, that's just how I've been working on not making myself feel so small. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and come back next week for another video. Bye.